today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to make a video or a quick vlog about the van, or something I'm going to do to the van, that is. It's not something I'd normally make a video about. It's not something I normally do either, but today I'm going to try putting something into the engine which is going to improve the performance. It's an additive or kind of slash something you add when it's running, which is meant to clean the engine and the exhaust. These Volkswagens, and I think a lot of modern diesels, have variable vane turbos that as they age they can start sticking up and causing sluggish acceleration and stuff like that. The main reason though I'm doing it today is I got a tuning box about a week ago from a friend, which it actually works quite well. I was always kind of put off by the word tuning box years ago, simply because I thought it was a cheap way of having a remap. It never worked as well, but actually modern ones these days, they do work quite well, and it's a kind of cheaper alternative. I'm just trying it at the moment. I've not actually purchased it off him. It is a second-hand one, so it's not going to break the bank, but it has given me a bit more horsepower. Now the van is an 85 horsepower base model. It is a bit sluggish. Now I absolutely love the drivability of this van. The engine, although being a bit slow, is the most smooth, kind of not necessarily refined, but the most smooth and nice to drive. It's torquey when you want it to be. It's good around corners. It's good slow speed around towns. It's generally good up kind of hills. It's just if you ever want to overtake, or if you ever need that bit of power up hills or on the motorway, it doesn't really have it. It lacks it. It won't kind of stall. It'll hold out in its own, keep on pulling. It hasn't really got the power there to kind of push on and accelerate as such, if you get where I'm coming from. So I've tried the tuning box. It has made a difference. It's running around 105, 110 horsepower now, in theory. But it has given it that kind of oomph. Now the only problem I've noticed with it is because the engine is quite an older engine now, and it's done a lot of mileage. We're on about 120,000. It only really gives that good power between 2.5 to 3,000 RPM, and that is getting to a zone that I don't really want to push it. It does give you a bit of extra power to overtake, but you tend to be revving the engine quite a lot when you do it, which is something I don't like doing. It'd be nicer to try and get some of that extra power a bit lower down, which I'm probably going to say now a remap would do. But what I'm going to try today, without going on too much anymore, is an engine cleaner. So I bought this, it arrived this morning. It's called Revive Turbo and Turbo Cleaner and Power Restorer for diesel engines. Basically, you spray this through the air intake with the engine running, and it's meant to clean out some of the carbon deposits and make the engine run smoother, cleaner, improve throttle response, and also increase power. Most stuff like this is snake oil. I don't believe in it. Most additives can make a slight bit of difference, but the cost of them outweighs the gains you're going to get. You're better off buying premium fuel, whether you got a petrol or a diesel. The premium fuels do make a difference over the time you use them. But stuff like this is a bit different. So, and I've seen good reviews on it, so it might actually make a difference. And what you got to do is you got to have the engine running. You got to spray it in through the air in filter after the MAF sensor, so it doesn't knacker that up. And basically what it does is it's meant to clean the carbon out of the turbo and the air inlets and stuff like that. It's developed for jet engines. Now I know that's true because on a flight many years ago, a KLM flight to Holland, they did actually have a brochure on their pictures of, for some reason, how they clean their engines on their planes. And it showed you the machines they use, and they spray this stuff through the turbines with it running, and it cleans the blades. Now it's a bit different because you don't really get much carbon deposits on turbine engines because they run so hot. But it has been adapted for the marine engine use, which is big diesels. So someone has come out and started selling it for vehicles. I'll put the links up for it in the description if you want to give it a try yourself. It cost me £37. It is quite expensive, but if it improves the way the engine runs and makes it a tiny bit better on fuel, it's going to be worth, and it'll pay for itself. So just going to open the box now. I won't lie, I have looked at it before. Inside you simply get a bottle of the cleaner. Now it is actually measured, different kind of measurements on here, and this can do 3 cleans. 750 mil, so you got 250 mil per clean. You meant to do all 3 of them in one go to get it to do it. You also have the spray bottle attachment, and we also have, I don't know why they put this in here really, it's almost like a advertisement saying about how great it is, but you've already bought it, so I'm not sure why they put that in. But it basically removes soot from turbochargers, exhaust inlet, EGR valves, intercoolers, variable vane turbos, nozzles and throttle housing. Yeah, there you go, that's that. And you also get a turbo shaped air freshener with the company logo and name on it. What else do you need in life? Basically what you're meant to do is, like I say, spray this into the air filter, do 250 mil. I think then you're meant to leave it 10 minutes, do another 250 mil, leave it for another 10-20 minutes, and then you're meant to then do the last one and go for a drive. And it does actually say you're meant to have quite a harsh drive. It took me ages to work out what the instructions are on this. They're actually behind this bit here. There they are. So I'm going to follow this through that. The only difference I'm probably going to do is I might do, on the first application, I might do 125 mil ones, simply because I'm going to do it on a cold engine, and what I'm going to do is try and get the component into the engine as much as I can, let it sit so it eats away the carbon, and then do it. So I'm going to try and get as many cleaning applications through as I can, rather than doing 3. I might even do 5 with it, and then just use the big application towards the end. By doing it on a colder engine as well, it's going to evaporate less, and hopefully it's going to do more cleaning. Obviously putting any liquid or fluids into a hot engine, it's going to evaporate quite quickly. So I'll take a bit of footage now of me taking the air filter off, or the hose, spraying it on, and do this. I won't vlog anymore, I'll just do some video of that, and I'll come back to you a bit later and add to this, just let you know how it went and if we saw any more improvements on it. Right, I'll run the treatment through it now. It's a bit noisy, and it creates a lot of smoke when you do it. I'm not overly convinced that all the smoke is from the carbon coming out of the engine like it says it is. I think a lot of it's just the fluid. It does work quite well. You meant to have somebody to keep the throttle at a certain rev range, doing the different stages while you pour it in or spray it in. But I just did that by using a long cardboard tube and using the seat to kind of hold pressure on the pedal. I've taken it for a drive up here now. I'm not really put my foot down yet, just to let it clear out. It says you've got to kind of drive it for a while. There's going to be a lot of kind of the stuff left in the intercooler that's probably got to the bottom of it, so you've got to try and draw that through and kind of get it all out of the system. It's not smoking at all anymore, so it should be fine. I'm just going to give it a try and see if there's any difference. So like I said, the actual putting the product in worked quite well. I can't really give you any tips. It kind of sprayed in quite well. The attachment worked, it didn't leak. and yeah, it's pretty easy really. Just make sure if you're going to do it, you do it off after the MAF sensor. You don't need coating that in anything. You can hear the turbo spinning up, and it's a lot noisier when you're doing it, just because you've got that air filter off, or that air kind of hose off. So it is a bit kind of disconcerting when you do it, especially when it starts smoking a lot. But yeah, I'm just going to see if there's any difference in it now. I'm not expecting amazing things, but we'll see how we get on. It's actually a really nice evening tonight. We've got nice red clouds. I've got to get out and take some more landscape photography stuff soon. I just not had time. It doesn't feel much more torquier, to be honest, in high gears, but I didn't expect it to. You can't really improve the horsepower that's already on the engine. Just in a country lane, this is second gear. I'd say the throttle response is definitely better. Definitely revving a bit quicker there. You still get that thing where you run out revs quite quickly. I was up to about 3,000 there, which is a bit too high. Really, I don't like taking diesels anywhere past that. This is up to the main road now, so I'll be able to give a bit of a better try. Yeah, it's definitely a quicker throttle response. I think there's a bit more torque in there. Definitely seems to pull better throughout the rev range, but I wouldn't say it's transformed the engine. It's probably just made it a bit more as if it was a new one. This is a steep hill we're going up now. That's second gear. I'd say it's revving better than it normally would up there. We're into third now, and it's still pulling. It's still accelerating, which is a bad for where we are. It's a shame you can't see the road, but I'd say overall it's definitely made a difference. It's got a lot of good reviews, this, on not really Amazon as such. Got good reviews on eBay, a few good reviews on Amazon, but most of the ones I found were on like internet forums and stuff like that. You've got to take anything you see with a pinch of salt when you're looking at stuff like this, but as a rule, it's basically for every 100 reviews there's one or two bad ones, and the vast majority of them ones are good. So I think it does work. It definitely feels like it's made a difference. It's definitely improved the throttle response, 100%. The rest of it could just be me wanting it to do that, but I think it definitely has improved it slightly, and it definitely improved the throttle response. I get that in a diesel, improved throttle response isn't that significant. What you really want is torque. You want it to pull well, and it has improved that slightly, I think. There's not enough revs in a diesel really to want amazing throttle response, because you're going to run out of revs whatever you're doing on it. But yeah, I hope you found it useful anyway. I would recommend it, although I would say that you are doing something quite intrusive to the engine of your vehicle, and if you're not 100% sure that you're going to be okay with doing it, then I probably wouldn't. People that like to tinker with cars, or people that kind of mechanically minded or done stuff with the vehicles already, I'd probably say go for it. It isn't something you see often in the shops, simply because, and I've looked into it, and everyone seems to agree with this, it's mainly a trade product. Mainly because obviously you are doing something quite intrusive to the engine. You're spraying liquid into the engine whilst it's running, and potentially if they were going to flood the market with it in the shops, I assume they're going to come across with problems with people damaging their engine. So I think at the moment that's why it's kind of not been as well known as the other additives you can get, like Red X and things like that, which are generally pretty safe. But I definitely recommend it. Like I said, give it a try if you're willing to take that risk, or at least do the research yourself. See if you think it's going to be safe for your use, and yeah, it's definitely better than throttle response, and definitely accelerates better. yeah, do the research yourself. If you're happy with that, I'd recommend it. Go ahead. It's made a bit of a difference to the van. It's a bit nicer to drive, especially that tuning box on. I said at the start of the video, it is actually a bit more of a nippy van. Pulls better, goes up hills better ever since that. I'd recommend that as well. I'm not going to do a vlog on that just because there's not really much to say about it or show you. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you on the next one.